The Plague is a body horror, psychological thriller, coming of age sort of movie. It's an interesting combination of genres, but I think it worked really well, honestly, for the film. It kind of surprised me. I was hearing some buzz about this film, so after checking it out, I'm glad to say that I enjoyed it a lot, even though the ending of the film was kind of lackluster. I'll get into that a bit later, I guess. But what I liked about this film, it was very interestingly shot on a technical level. This film takes place at a water polo camp with middle schoolers, young teenagers, and the way they're able to play with water physics and use the camera in ways that's more so creative. And in a way, I'm sure I've seen this sort of camera work done in other films, but it's always nice to not only see how some things carry over from other films, but also just to see these same techniques used in different ways to make it interesting. The sound design in this film was really good. The way that the child characters were able to converse and have their conversations overlap each other, it didn't sound like the child actors were just waiting for one to speak and waiting for the other to respond. No, it seemed like the director had a very good understanding and worked really well with the child actors to create an environment where they were able to talk to each other like real young teenagers would, without having the need to feel like these kids were just kind of doing a theater session. With that, though, the child actors are really good in this film. Pretty much all of them are really good. No complaints there. That's always a worry for a film like this. Interestingly enough, the film is set in the early 2000s, which I thought was an interesting choice. If I had to take a guess why that was, is just because I feel like if you set it in the modern day, like right now, as we stand right now, I feel like there would be the complication of phone use, maybe. I'm not really sure. But the 2000 setting doesn't really add much to the film. That's kind of just what I'm guessing is why they chose that, but it's only really referenced based on what music plays in certain scenes. I like how all of the characters were written in this film. All of the characters kind of have their own struggles and storyline going on. There's a lot of themes of peer pressure, like societal expectations, a bit of the hierarchy that's in this water polo camp, kids thinking that they're better than others, and the bullying that kind of ensues. This whole kind of issue, which is the plague, this kind of David Cronenberg rabbit-esque visuals going on, and the kind of repercussions that comes with bullying in the film, which I thought was very interesting, because at the heart of this film, it's a coming-of-age film. The horror aspects of this film are more so just a backdrop, which is fine because, while a little bit sparse, it makes the horror scenes more surprising. If I were to complain about anything, unfortunately, I thought the ending was very lackluster of this film. Maybe I just need to rewatch it, but that's kind of a big issue with me if I don't really connect with the ending, just because the ending is kind of the big stinger, and it's really what can make or break a film, because it's kind of the thing that leaves you with the lasting impression. So if something has a shitty ending, I'm more so gonna remember that more. But with that said, though, I did really enjoy this film. I think it's a good 7 out of 10. It's a low 7 out of 10, but maybe on a rewatch later, it might go up or down. We'll have to see.
Arco is a French animated film that is nominated for Best Animated Picture this year. Unfortunately, I was forced to watch the dubbed version because it seems like either AMC Theaters just hates French people, or they can just never figure out how to get their French animated films with subtitles. It's weird. The same thing happened with Mars Express. Anyways, I enjoyed this film. It has some really beautiful animation. And while the story is something that's been seen before, and admittedly not all beats are the most interesting, the way it's told in the world that's set up in this film is very well done, and it's able to help out an otherwise bland story idea. And going back to the whole dub and sub thing, I enjoyed Will Ferrell's performance within the dub, even though I would much rather prefer subtitles, but I thought Will Ferrell's portrayal of his character that he was dubbing was actually pretty good. And, it's not the most noticeable thing in the world. It's much more distracting if it's a live action international film that's dubbed. There's really only some moments with the lip syncing animation that, if you look close enough, then obviously it's not correct. The film also had some good music that I liked, and it was able to fit the tone of the film very well. It's nothing overly serious. There's some comedic bits. It's a bit more of a light film, kind of more intended. It's an animated film that's intended for more younger audiences. One kind of interesting thing about the music, though, is that maybe it was just me, but I feel like there was a track at the end that sounded really similar to the Interstellar theme in some ways. Like, like the main theme that you hear like during the film. But maybe that was just me again. overall, this film's really it was really solid and I enjoyed it quite a bit, and it's a good, enjoyable animated film for kids. And I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
If you liked what you saw, then hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you want to see more, then leave a comment down below. Thank you. Bye.